Star Wars Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, is going to be an event, right? It's going to be an event. It's going to be the end of a saga. 42 years in the making. As odd as that is to say out loud, 20 years and half a year since The Phantom Menace. And a lot more has happened since then in regards to opening up the Skywalker saga and also bringing it home. But then the question becomes, what of Rey? Because she's been heavily teased since the beginning as being a part of this story, being a part of this grand narrative, that she is somebody. We thought, based upon what we saw in episode 7, that the mystery of Rey's parents were going to be that she was going to be someone. Either it was going to be a Kenobi or a Skywalker. That's what people were thinking. In fact, that's what a lot of people thought that J.J. Abrams was teasing in that mystery box of a movie. But then, of course, Rian Johnson came by and he gave us, The Last Jedi, which answered the questions about who Rey's parents were. His take on it was that they were nobody, that they were junk traders who sold off Rey for drinking money and that are currently lying in a pauper's grave somewhere in the deserts of Jakku. Now, the reason why Rian Johnson gave his take this particular way was because he wanted to tie it into the larger narrative of Legends, and that it's not just tied to a simple family tree or a couple family trees. The Skywalker saga is about the goddamn Skywalkers. That's what pissed people off. People wanted this to be about the Skywalker saga and to finish it. We had 2 trilogies, right? So we had part 1, part 2, now part 3 to finish it out. But Johnson wanted to take it another direction. Johnson wanted to make it his own thing. Now, even Simon Pegg had called this out as BS when he had said in an interview that J.J. Abrams, who's one of his dearest friends, by the way, had an entirely different plan for Rey's parents. And that Rian Johnson just kind of poo-pooed all over JJ. Which he did. He did. There's no question about it. But now that JJ's back in control and he's bringing it home, he gets to go back to his sandbox and he gets to play the game he wants to play. But he's got to make choices. And those choices are, in fact, going to be, retconning elements of Rey's parentage. In fact, in an interview with ABC News, he says this: I will say that we knew going into this, that this movie, it had to be a satisfying conclusion. And we were well aware that that's one of the things that had been out there. I don't want to say what happens in episode 8 didn't happen. We have honored that, but I will say that there's more to the story than you've seen. So obviously he's still going to go on and talk about this. He's going to retcon it in a certain way. He's not going to completely retcon it, but it's not going to be her parents are junkers who sold her off for drinking money, who are lying in a pauper's grave somewhere in the the deserts of Jakku. There's the theory that the ship that Rey saw in her dream when touching Luke's old lightsaber in her flashback is the same ship that we saw going to that weird snow planet market thing in the Rise of Skywalker trailer. And there's people out there that are running the theory that she's actually a Skywalker, that this is Rey Skywalker. I've seen theories out there that have suggested that Rey and Kylo are twins, right? And they were separated at birth, and there's that. Well, I mean, it is, genetically a thing that if people have twins or are twins, they have the gene for twins. So they could have twins. It's a thing. So that's a possibility, but I doubt it. I don't think Rey Skywalker is going to be who we think. I think if Rey becomes a Skywalker, the Skywalker is going to become the name of the new Jedi. But as you see for the bottom there, that little bottom line, Rey Palpatine, what the hell is that? That, in preparation for this video, is actually what got my mind thinking. I went back and I watched the scene with Rey and Kylo in the throne room when he tells her parents were nobody. And he says, you're a nobody in this story. You don't matter. Not to them you don't, but to me. Seems a little bit fitting, doesn't it? Maybe Rian Johnson was hinting at something. I don't want to give the story The Last Jedi any credit, but I will look at this objectively. He was telling her that she was nobody. And the concept of what he was kind of getting to was that in essence of The Last Jedi, it's basically saying that not everyone in the universe that is now midichlorian enhanced is going to be part of the Skywalker family tree. That anyone can be a legend, that anyone can be a Jedi. That's one of the reasons why at the end of that movie, we saw that little boy with the broom, first pulling that broom. That was what he was getting at. And that's ultimately what Rian Johnson was going for in that scene. Look, The Last Jedi is about as subtle as a nuclear strike. Okay, so there's that. But J.J. Abrams in the Rise of Skywalker trailer used the line from The Last Jedi, and he flipped it around to be talking about the bad guys. And then at the end of the trailer, we hear Palpatine's laugh. Right? Now, what does that mean? Who knows? We don't know what that means. But JJ did say in another interview that this is going to be a conclusion to the Skywalker saga, that this is going to be a conclusion to everything we've known over the span of the last 42 years, that this is going to pull themes and elements and storylines from all those movies. But there's one. There is one that we have not looked at yet. This is where I'm going in my own little tinfoil theory here, so you can agree with me or disagree with me, that's fine. This is just an idea. Darth Sidious died at the Battle of Endor in the Death Star. Darth Sidious told Anakin about Darth Plagueis the Wise. And if I'm mispronouncing that, you can stop writing in the comments. I'm not going to change. He told him that story, setting up the idea that he found a way to cheat death, and also insinuating that Darth Sidious killed his master. Now, many people out there thought that Snoke was in fact Darth Plagueis, or Darth Sidious, or Darth Plagueis, or whatever, having come back. Ian McDiarmid said at Star Wars Celebration that Palpatine is dead. Palpatine is dead. So what if, in the years where the Empire was ruling everything, Darth Sidious was able to actually complete his master's work? Because it was rumored, it's been said, that the Force created Anakin Skywalker as a way to screw with Plagueis. That's been a theory. I don't know if that's fact or not, but it's been a theory. Because they knew what he was doing. So they created the Chosen One to bring balance to the Force. Except it wasn't ultimately him, it was his son. The Force is screwy like that. So what if, in the attempt, the pursuit to do all that, the Force, much like Anakin Skywalker, as a way to combat against this, created Rey. Right? Origins are somewhat similar. Born of a desert planet, doesn't know her father, didn't know her parents, has abilities unlike anyone else, is destined for greatness, is ultimately the chosen one in some aspect. That's a theory. It's a Star Wars theory, but it could work. It could work. It could be where they're going with it. It could be that's why they're going to find the Emperor or a holocron or something he left behind, explaining what he'd been up to, all trying to determine whose Rey's parents are, if at all, or if the Force manipulated midichlorians in order to bring back Palpatine as maybe Rey. It could be the Revan reveal. It could be the Revan reveal. We've all wanted a Knights of the Old Republic movie. The big twist on that is the Revan thing. It could be a Revan reveal. And wouldn't that blow the goddamn doors off of everything if that is the reveal? Something to chew on. Something to think about. We got a long time till the movie comes out, and I'm probably wrong. But I think that it's looking at what JJ is trying to do with this movie, how he's trying to bring it home, and what they've set up in the original trilogy, in the prequel trilogy, in this trilogy, and where it's going to go past that, is letting go of the Jedi, letting go of the Sith, and becoming something more, becoming a Skywalker. But what if Rey is a Palpatine? What if he was able to create it, and then he created her, I mean, it only would have been a few years after his death that she would have been born. Just saying, the Jesus analogy for Anakin back in Phantom Menace was pretty heavy-handed when Shimi was saying, like, he has no father. I don't know. One day woke up pregnant. I'm curious. But I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. Let me know down in the comments below. I will talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day. Please like, subscribe, and all that jazz. And have a good one, guys, and peace out.